Welcome back to another episode of Adoptions from the Heart TV. I'm your host, Amanda Aliberti. As we continue these discussions about race and adoption, we're going to be talking a little bit about the importance of having mentors and mirrors through transracial adoption. Now let's turn to our panel discussion.
I think for me, it really is because I can't know, right? Because I don't experience it the same way my daughter will. How do we speak into our children's lives to make it a safe space for them to know that even if we don't experience it, we want their feelings and their experiences are real. And we want to open that space for them. You know, it's so much more than just books and TV shows and dolls, right? And our work, it's beyond that. So when we're talking to my child about racism, and we're talking to our children about, like, Juneteenth was really important discussion for our children. We were understanding, you know, it goes from, oh, well, what is slavery? And we're diving into that in like a child appropriate level. And we're talking about, the truth is my daughter will always be coming home and coming to comfort to a white family, to white parents, instead of going to a family that has that same connection with her and can bond in that way, which is why I think, and you guys have spoken on it, but I think if you can speak on the importance of mentoring, not just having birth parents, but also other mentors in their life that, especially in my situation, if my daughter's birth parents aren't always there or available to be there for her, she needs somebody who is Black that is mentoring her to be available to her if there are situations where she feels more comfortable going to them. I don't know if you guys could speak on the importance of mentoring at all.
As far as the mentor situation, again, this is all personal for me. I grew up with Black parents and I still needed a mentor because, again, my mom was so focused on one thing. The rest of my life was kind of like going by. So I needed someone to talk to, and now I have like 3 moms. Like it's always good for anybody really to have someone that they can connect to at that level. And my one advice to you as a mother, because my mom went through it and I had to sit down and talk to her about it. I don't want you to feel like because your daughter is going to this other person that puts you back any type of way. Like it's just literally because there was a connection and maybe this person can word things a little differently and she can understand. But I don't want you to feel taken aback as a parent because your daughter wants to go speak to someone else about something you just might not have the right information, or the words that you're saying to her, she might not understand it. That's nothing against you, but it is good that you're going to, like, you allow her to find that person. Like, you give her the opportunity to talk to someone that can possibly understand her or make her feel a little more comfortable about things that are going on in her life. That feeling like I did this for her, I allowed her to get her feelings out. I'm giving her that chance to talk and to be talked to, and she feels better and she understands. And that is very important that she does have that at some point in her life when she does need it. But all you can do as the parent is either try to help her yourself or at least give her the opportunity to meet that person that can help her. So that's very important. I hope that helped you.
No, it does. Thank you. And I think that does. And I think when you're in open adoption, you have to learn anyway how to drop the tug of war rope. I don't want my child to ever feel that pull between birth parents and adoptive parents. I've decided to drop the rope. That is not her burden to carry, is where she feels torn between the two. They can coexist in our world. And so I think that's the same as mentors. We all had somebody, I hope, that we felt really connected to that was not connected to us because of family or because they had to love us, right? Having that special bond with somebody means a lot. And I think particularly in transracial adoption, if you don't have connections to birth family, especially to bridge that gap a little bit, it is so important to find mentors. And again, you're right, you can't set them up as mentors, then be upset when they utilize the mentors in a really healthy way, right? So no, thank you. That was helpful.
Asia, were you going to add something?
I want to piggyback off of what Sierra said. And for one, your child going to a mentor is amazing because she's getting all this information and things that you might not have. But at the same token, with her getting all this information and you having such an open communication, now you're getting that same information as well. Now you're learning a lot from her. So when she's older and now she's talking to you, now you guys are putting several different views together, and she's able to form her own personality, her own opinions, her own beliefs and everything, just based off of all the knowledge that she's getting from every different angle. So just her going to a mentor doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you don't know and you're just not going to know. It's also meaning that she's getting the information, and now you're going to get the information because you're either talking to the mentor as well, or you're talking to your child and getting her points.
I think as an agency, we see the importance of birth parents, particularly Black birth parents, being a positive racial mirror for their child in the future. Like, do you guys see the importance of that, of you participating? And when people say, well, you know, I'm white, my child's Black, I don't really have a lot of diversity in my area, what am I going to do? You can see the importance of why you participating is important.
Yes, definitely. It shows our unconditional love for our children.
I think the big thing for us right now is just making sure that there's diversity around her so that, you know, she doesn't feel like, I'll share a quick story with you. My stepfather adopted 2 Korean kids 40 years ago, and it was a closed adoption. And so I have a stepsister who's Korean and a stepbrother. And the stepsister went off to school and she went to an all Korean bar, and her response to me after telling me the story was that she felt out of place. Every single person in that bar was Korean, but she was raised by 2 white people, you know, and brothers and sisters that were white. And it really opened my eyes up. Like, she associated herself with being white, not Korean, but she looks Korean. And so that really resonated with me, and that I want to make sure that my daughter doesn't feel that way, but she needs to be around that. Otherwise it's not going to resonate with her. If she's not around any Black people at all in her life, then she'll be like, well, what are you talking about? And that would be the worst thing that could happen. So the school that she's at has Black teachers, you know, she's friends with all the Black kids. It's very diverse. So we like that part of it. But like I said before, I feel like I've got to do more.
Thank you so much, Rich. This is just the beginning. The first step is realizing what you don't know, going outside of your comfort zone so that you can learn and grow. Thanks so much, guys. Please tune in next week as we continue the discussion of race within the adoption community.